Welcome back to AI graphics. I know we looked into a lot of theory and we introduced few tools. We had Adobe Firefly, then we looked at Venngage deeply, and last week looked at Canva. So what has happened now is you have these 3-4 tools, very nice tools. Templates are there, very beautifully laid out. Cuts down a lot of thinking time. Whatever the design that ticks your box, just play with it. And then any thought process, just have a quick scan through what, it's good that this could be presented this way, that could be presented that way, and you can just have a go. Yeah, so that's what we had, Venngage, and then followed by Canva. So what I thought I'll do today is, obviously, when we looked at Adobe Firefly, what we found out was, okay, fine, you can go for a generative AI prompt, you can click, and then anything creative, it automatically does it. Then you go back and you can change the background, you could do some edits and here and there, and you can finalize the thing. But what happens if you do need to add a text? And how can you take that image? This is absolutely amazing, as you can see here. And how can you repurpose the same image for different needs? It's amazing. So it's primarily, it's a very interesting tool. Obviously, it has 2 different versions. Again, $10 a month, $10 a month. That's all. And it's monthly. And if you go annual, it's as always $99 a year, right? But the free version does a lot of free things. So as you can see here, most of it is there. But when you go to the top one, it's very simple, because you say if you want to resize the images, and if you want to repurpose it for one image, that you can also use it to have created this image. I want to convert that into YouTube Shorts, or Instagram Reels, or a Twitter message, Twitter image, etc. It automatically resizes it for you. You just need to pick up what's the purpose of the image. You can tick. It just does it for you. And it also has what we call scheduling, social scheduling. So if you go back and have all these images with some nice messages, it also has a scheduling tool. So very interesting, because as you can see here, the dimensions for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, to websites, to your proposals will all be different. And sometimes it's a nightmare for you to go and do this. Just comes in. And on the other side, there are lots and lots of fonts. Obviously, just be very mindful. Try to stick with sans serif family of fonts and the serif fonts. The fonts could be funny, interesting, but it might not be readable. So we'll have a look at those things, just to have a look, so that you can go back and play with it. As always, I just want us to, I normally, this is how I start. I normally go to Claude, and I ask, write a very creative prompt to generate image. So let it come with something. Okay, it just comes out with this. Right. I haven't even asked. The reason for that is, sometimes you might be thinking, oh my God, I want to have a dog, I want to have a cat, and all these things. Right now, let us go back and put this message and then see what it does. So, so I'm going to, hope you can still see the screen. I'm going to go back to Adobe Firefly, just in case. Let me stop and share, because I don't trust sometimes doesn't work. So let's put the prompt in and let's see what it does first. In the meantime, let us go back and see. Okay. Hope you can see the screen. So primarily, it just says a mystical figure walks along the path, enchanted forest, and so, right? It just comes out with it. We can spend time on this, but for now, I'm going to choose this image. And I think, okay, this image is okay. It just tells me a few things. Actually, the previous images was actually okay, but that's fine. Let's just pick this one. And what it tells you is, as it says here, this is what we did last time, right? You can remove the background, you can do this, but look here, there's a point for you to add the text. When you add the text, this is where it clicks and it goes back into Adobe Express, right? So get back to Adobe Express. Now I have this image, right? And now it's important for us to look and see what you can do. Obviously, you have two different things. One is Adobe the Express, the higher end version, and then the simple version, right? So this is a free version. So primarily, it just tells you, okay, you can add a text to this image. So in the meantime, let's go back and check what it is. So your stuff, this is where if there is any other previous messages that you have created, it's just there. So yesterday I posted, because APMP 40 and 40 is there again every year, 15% of the award winners are Scribble students. So I just reminded them, but that's within our circle community. It's going to go back in a newsletter, do it. And then I asked for it. And then this is the image that got created. I was like, for funny, just a creative image. It just comes in as a student, just came back with this. It was created here. So any past information will be stored here. And as I mentioned, if you do need to go back and add your own branding and stuff, that's where top up $99 a year comes on, and it makes it absolutely brilliant. So primarily you can add it. Then what that meant is you can then use those logos directly within the images, right? Or any other colors you can do it. But in this case, let's have a look. What templates do I have? So, the important thing is, you just need to first understand, or at least tell Adobe Firefly, in this case, Adobe Express, what is it you are creating? Because depending on the dimensions will come up with. We already have seen few. Canva, for example, we saw, and Engage, for example, we saw for infographics. But here you can start to see there are some popular templates. So before we get into that, let's have a look. What are the stuff that you can do in Flyer? There are a few flyers. Let's click Flyer. So these are like one snapshot flyers that you can use to create. Again, these are templates. There are 5,000 and nearly 6,000 things there. Then what you have, you can also create video. The new Adobe video editor, people are raving about it because it's amazing, it seems. But as you can see here, most of the videos are actually in the Pro version. But I've been told, if you have a normal video, like my video, for example, a webinar video, podcast video with my image and with the guests, etc., if you just add to it, supposedly it just comes out with some very, very strong output. So again, I've let my video editor know this, but hopefully he's going to do it. So poster, infographic, presentation templates, worksheets, and then comes the very specific stuff. This is what we talked about. Because time and time again, you are sitting down and you're creating images. Then you realize, oh my God, I've just created an Instagram post and it's not relevant for me in things. So it took very well, because I just want you to start to think around this dimension, because yes, you are creating proposal graphics. But if you do want to, there could be images that your marketing team is already using it, you're posting it, but you might not be aware of it. And there could be a lot of images that you have it, but your marketing team doesn't know it, right? It's so if you sit and repurpose it, it takes ages, right? But in this case, you can go add the image, you can choose, but just be very mindful, because it's in the free version, it's a sequential thing. For example, if you go back and click Instagram, it comes with Instagram. And you need to go back and then redo it for LinkedIn or any other things, right? So in the other one, you can do it in parallel. So all these things, TikTok video, Facebook post, very, very nice. YouTube video, bingo, job done. All right, these are the templates, LinkedIn profile. And I killed myself last time to just get an image that actually fits into the LinkedIn profile cover. If you can see, this is your, if you have a company page, or if you also have your personal LinkedIn account, just see what's in your banner. And it's very important for you to have something over there, right? So meme, brochure, invitation card, it just goes very, very comprehensive. I was literally very surprised. See here, for LinkedIn post as a specific thing, which means you can go back and use a template very quickly. You can change a message and you can go from there, right? So browse by industry. Let's have a look. So what are the different industries? Health and fitness, real estate, professional services. We might be here. Education, this could be you. And construction, food and beverage, which means these are some of the templates that that you can choose. So again, templates, very, very, very strong. Media, this is what we already, in other words, if you want to use, in the past, when you are using any generic images of an engineer, a student, an old person, a cleaner, a doctor, etc., we just go back and do it. But now these are generative AI thing. And Midjourney comes out better, but I'm very, very surprised. These days, I use less of ChatGPT. I use more of Claude, and I use less of Midjourney. I use more of Adobe Firefly. Just because I think it's a little bit more friendly, So media, I'm just going to leave it at explore. So, but let's go back and see what you can do with the text, right? In this case, I want to add my text. When you add the text, obviously, if you design the image, adjust the image background, etc. So there is a space for you to go. It's as simple as this. Text comes up, and here you can write mystic figure forest. All right. So you just come here. When you just put like this, it is here. But I'm like, I don't really like that. I just want to do something. So it automatically, see here, it automatically kind of tells you, hey, why can't you try this? Why can't you try that? See, it changes the font. I just say, maybe you should try that. So again, always important for you to go back and see what does it already do for you, right? If there is anything that you can start to do for you. The moment you start to use a font that's not a free version, this automatically comes up, which meant you can't download it, right? So, the good news is, it's sometimes if you're lucky. So in this case, the image is here. So because as I told you, when you're working with Adobe Firefly, remember it comes out with image generated by Adobe Firefly. Whereas if you transfer the image to Adobe Firefox, and if you don't do any changes, if you download it, then that watermark disappears. Right? That's a tip. So you don't need to worry about, oh my God, there is a watermark. So people know that you have done it. Either way, you can just do this, or, you can go back and you could now decide, okay, fine, this is the font that I've chosen. There is a list here of all the fonts, right? You can go back, or if you have your own branded fonts, you can also go back and do it. So it tells you on the site what are the pro fonts, which are the premium fonts. So when you use the premium fonts, again, immediately it tells you, ooh, you have used the premium font. Otherwise, you can just use a normal one. So mystic figure in a forest. So you can just do it. You can reduce the font size. You can decide where you want to place this, italics, underline, do what it takes, bullet point, center aligned, do anything. But what's more interesting, as you can see here, is it will decide, okay, fine, rather than to make it as all the fonts as one, see here automatically, just a mystic figure in a thing. Comes it, and now it goes back and it also gives you recommended. So, think about experiment, because you might think, this is what I want, but again, remember, behind the AI, based on the image, it automatically advises you, recommends you to do a few things, just test it out. So what you also have here within the text is you can go back and see what you can do. I really love this. You can just play with it. You can just do it. Opacity is another one. You can primarily, the whole thing disappears, or being mystic, you can just make it just slightly visible, so that people who are looking into that, they are like, ooh, it's blended within the whole thing. So what's more cool here is, you can then go back and say, okay, fine, you can push it back, or you can keep it forward. Either way, it's just there. So here comes the interesting part, text to image, because this is what we already have done. We have created an image using the text prompt that we took from Claude, something interesting. Effects is a very interesting one, right? So in the effects, this is very similar, to Adobe Firefly, but obviously because you're bringing it back here to just do a few more stuff, it just comes out with something interesting. See here, grayscale, right? Much better than the colorful one here, right? Because a lot of color, this makes it good. Colorize, one color makes it even good. Tint, see? So very quickly, you can take your proposal, I just want you to be very creative for your proposal cover or on the backside, or if you're doing executive summary, make it very clever. So the effects are there. But what you want to do here, this is the text to image. This is what we wrote, mystical figure walking along. It came from Adobe Firefly, and it comes here. So let's see. Obviously, it hasn't picked up. It'll be interesting to see if we add the same image in Midjourney, what does it actually do? So, Midjourney might get slightly more accurate or a lot more accurate on this, but it's much better. So again, what I've we have reduced it, reduce the text. Yeah, it's still long. So let's keep it simple. All right, okay, slightly better. So it just here, and you can see, okay, either way, this is what we already have done, and then we brought the image here just to add the text. The theme is you can change the colors. Obviously, you have your own colors. You can start to change the colors. Background color is another thing. This one is, keep it as it is, or if you want to change it, it comes in, or if you want to add your own brands, you can add it, or you can choose different colors here that just comes up with. So, right. So what's more, what I really liked is, you can have any sticky messages and other things here, boom, and all this stuff. And if you want to add, but for now, let's delete. But what's the best thing, which I really liked about this, is there are a lot of elements, which you can add. But even before we go there, I just want to continue on the text side. So what do you have here? You can go back and you have added the text here, right? Now, you click the text and then it tells you this is where we stopped. But then what we didn't do is what we call the text effects. Text effects, if we click that, it tells you, okay, do you remember this text? You're just a normal font, but I just want the text to have a few elements of it because it's black and white. It's picked up automatically this, but if you change the color, then it comes up with, for example, I just want in this color. So this effect, for example, so the text actually changes into kind of a balloony type. See. So the post that I did about the podcast, the 50,000 download podcast, was actually done it this way. Right, I just went back. It just told me, hey, because your thing is in golden color, a golden font, a golden drip might be a good one. So that's what he did. He just picked up a golden drip and he did it. So it's very simple. So you take the image, go back, reiterate, get a nice image from Adobe Firefly, and then you just say, okay, I need to add a text. Then it automatically comes here. If you have an account here, then you could save the file so that it's in your vault as what we call your stuff. Then you pick up the font, whatever the font you want to choose or get for the recommended font and write it. Choose dynamic so that it can be slightly more creative and then see, hey, this is how you can place it. And once you get it, then come back to the text effects to just see how you can present. So this is how you choose it. And then you choose dynamic. You can think about these things. And the text effects, you can just go back and do it. Shadow and other things are slightly, because obviously you are still in the text. This is just text. So as you can see here, it's a different one. So every text comes out with it. You can just pick up what you want to do, and finally shape of it. At the moment the shape is like this, but as you can clearly see here, you can actually change it to any format. So I'm adding it. How else I'm going to do doing this? Obviously if I brought it in the middle, then actually I'm going to see the full one, right? So very, I mean, like if you don't have design background, if you need to make something quick, the same time effective, this is the place to be, right? And so you have the text effects, choose fonts, change the text effects, and then play with any other things. Animation, obviously, this is like the PowerPoint one. You can just choose something. So see here, just go, because primarily it just tells you, hey, are you going to make it as a video? In this case, we are not, but it just comes out with. So you can clearly see 1, 2, 3, 4 images, and you can just add it. So here, it has made it as a video. See? I haven't even done anything, right? All I did is I just made it as an animation. Just simply now, you can just download it and you can just go. So one image that you want to go for, but then you just want to emphasize that particular message, add it as an animation, bingo, it converts as a video, just post it. So rather than one image with one text, it just emphasizes the image in a better way, right? Very quickly. So it just comes in, that's your animation done. And obviously in this case, we haven't actually, if you resize, as you can see here, this is the gold one, which is very useful. What you'll find here is, you can resize it, because if you're using LinkedIn or something, it's actually length and width because it's square. But if you're using any other stuff, you can see here the dimensions are different, right? Different elements, and you can actually go back and choose. Okay, I want to use Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, website, all these things. So very quickly, if you are the pro one, you can simply go back and tick in a shortest time, maybe a minute or two, you get the same image repurposed for any use, because it's already there. For social media, fine. For any other stuff, it's there. See, for video, Instagram, standard, all these things. So calendar, Zoom background, did you see? Imagine you have to go back. How many times do you have to do this, right? You go back and try to upload an image that you spend so much time in creating. Let only it tells you, we don't like the dimension. Can you go back and change your dimension? Then you just need to go back and find some online resizing tool. The moment you resize it, then you will realize, oh my God, my image is totally not in the shape that I wanted to have, right? So that's it. And the best part is, you might be thinking, Bhaskar, I'm not a marketing guy. Fine. It's here, right? This is where it comes in. If you want to use anything here, it automatically tells you, hey, for a document, look at the dimension. It's for menu, it's here, but for every other thing, it also gives you that. Proposal, see here, bingo, because if I click it, it automatically tells me go and do it. At the moment, I'm just telling you it's free and low cost. So this is $99 is literally nothing. But at the same time, I don't want you to go back and spend money on anything and everything. So experiment the trial and see how you feel about it, right? So you take the image, you add a text, play with the text effects. And if you want to make it as different dimensions, you can do it. If you want to make it as a little emphasized animation and video, you can also do it. Then most importantly, decide, hey, I've done this image. Can you go back and repurpose it for everything else that I have here? But don't forget to also mention, see here, how simple have they made it for you, right? Logo, what are the dimension, promotional materials, gift certificate, ads. Because I always get this question every time. Book cover page, what's the dimension? What do I have here? What do I have there? So pictures, infographics. Yeah. So, just go for, and if you have specific prompts, again, I just wanted to be creative. I don't want you to go back and do the same thing that everybody else is doing. It's like, just go back and ask any AI tool, like Bard or a Claude or a ChatGPT or Aura or anything, Forefront, anything, Perplexity, anything. go back and ask, hey, you know what, I'm working in this industry and this is the proposal that I'm working on. I just want to create a proposal cover that's very unique, that needs to be very creative, and that needs to be awestruck, inspiring. Can you tell us? Can you write a prompt that's very professional? That's also it's it's relatable to this particular work or something. Then you get the prompt, try it again, do the same prompt in 4 or 5 different tools. You get different perspective of it, and you can start to think how different AIs think. And then you just get those things, put it in Adobe Firefly or Midjourney. So simply, if you get the image from Midjourney, it's the same. You could still, part of it, nothing is not bad. You could get the image, and you could actually upload the images. So if you feel like, no, I'm a big fan of Midjourney, and I don't want to create images with Adobe Firefly, it's fine. Go back, create images with Adobe. You have images in Canva, you have done it with Venngage or any other tool that you have done, or your previous designer had done something. And if you want to tweak it a little bit, I don't know Illustrator, I don't know InDesign, etc., fine, bring it. You can now remove the elements using Firefly, as we saw last time. You can erase certain parts, you can keep certain parts, you can take that image from this image, connect to the next image, and remove that background. All these things you can do it very quickly. Save that image, bring it back here. Either you use different tools or you have any past images, it's all there for you. Right, next, or if you want to create from scratch, text to image, like what we have done, Adobe Firefly to here and here to the next one. So that's it. And then, there are some generic images here, as you can see here, for different sectors, different things, but obviously not many people, and I'm literally in the proposal industry, handful, maybe 5, 6 who might be using this out of the thousands and thousands we are talking about. If you include pre-sales, sales and stuff, very, very less. Maybe designers will be doing, but whether it gets converted into actual proposal or a few stuff, only God knows. So it's here, right? So text to animations or text to different effects, upload an image, edit and do it. And if you want to go slightly, convert into different formats and stuff, it's even better. And elements are here for you to play with. Example, if you are working, let's see, even before you go there, yeah. So, remember, accessibility is key. So, they also have different connectors here. Attention Insight, AI-powered design analytics, which meant if you add this, it tells you, okay, now, it tells you Attention Insights is an AI tool which helps understand what attracts attention on any design. So what are you testing? Banner, flyer, images. So we are going to think it's a banner. So it's a test design. This process may take up to 40 seconds. So obviously, we know more or less it's going to spit on the face and say, what are you doing here? Right? So what it tells me is, okay, it has done a heat map analysis, and it just tells me something. So let's see, focus map. Interesting. So try changing your designs images. Okay. So it just comes out with layers, because again, I haven't used it. I'm just telling you, you also have different plugins that you can start to use, right? All the related stuff. So you can, if you're using any other tool to get the stuff, you can have it, or you could, there are a lot more add-ons that's coming up. So color designs and few bits. So again, add-ons are there. Elements, we already looked, different, they already have some information. For example, people, we always struggle to get a decent amount of people. But again, images like this, it'll be very obvious. For example, if you go back and choose, okay, I am a proposal manager working from home with a cat next to me. It's a very cliche, very gringe, as we call it. I will refrain. I'll go creative. Why do you need to go and do this when you can actually go back and create a nice person, AI generated person, do it? Elements, think about it, but anything else, if you're going, just go. There are lots here: backgrounds, shapes, icons is always forgotten and missed, but if there is anything that you can add. But again, the challenge is when you create, it's better you give a prompt which says icon of an animal, icon of anything. I want to add this, I want to add that before, rather than to add any icons, because then the professional image will be slightly diluted in the actual message that it want to convey. So that's where it adds in. So templates we already covered, it's all there. Media, we also had a look, different types of media. Text is the interesting part. Add a text, change the font. There are thousands of fonts, literally. They say thousands. That's what they mention. I mean, like if you go back to the update, then you're going to find, as you can see here, try AI powered text effects. That's what we are looking. Like anything, you have very quickly, you can see what it does. Help, comment, help is there. Then okay, here we go. Come on. Click too much, I think. So anyway, so it just comes up. So at the moment, now the image that we have is this. So I simply download it. So when I download it, it just tells me, okay, it's an MP4 because we remember we had a thing. The best for video, audio, animations, source size is the same, or do you want to make it, HD quality? As you can see here, HD is a premium quality. 1080 maybe is better, and it's downloading for us. So here we go. You have created a video of something. I've been asking my team to create. Here we go. Every week we send a newsletter. Can you take the newsletter and make it as a nice video? Just pick up some points and make it as a nice video, so the people who want to read text can also watch the video and they could go from there. They have been doing it for a week. They'll get there one day. So, the video is here, very, very simple. It just comes back. Just, I don't know whether you can see, but that's where it is. So I want you to try this. It will take 15-20 minutes. Take an image that you already have, or create an image with generative AI, put it in here, add the text, play with the text effects, repurpose it. If you want to upgrade to Pro, you can upgrade to Pro, or trial, and then see how very quickly you could do that as a proposal cover or anything for social media or anything, job done. Or if you can also take that 4 or 5 images, add it here, and you could just make it as a video and stuff, right? So it's very, very simple, very, very powerful. And yeah, simple is always good. So I definitely recommend you to do that. So don't forget, the important thing is, what I found it useful is how quickly you can add text effects, and how quickly you could especially for someone who posts a lot. Recently, I don't post often, but I wish I had this before, which meant I could have done it more. Now, when you're repurposing your content, one image that you have done into multitude of things in a click of a button for $99 a year, get this done. All right, how cool is that? So go back and look for any marketing collateral that you have. Is there anything that you could improve? Have it, or go back and check. You already have a diagram that you created using some other tool. You can do this. You can take it from your own desktop, upload it. You can create it in Midjourney, upload it, Canva, upload it, anything you have done, upload it, and then work. Or you can use Adobe InDesign, that work that you have done. You can also play with it. All these things are like images focused. Obviously, if you want to create a fully digitized proposal or something, you still need to have professional support on this. But for now, for us, it's a start, right? So I'll leave it there. All I want you to do is just to go and play with Adobe Express, right? And when you do, let me know, and we'll continue to explore these nuances. So we have done Adobe Firefly. From Adobe Firefly, nice extension with Adobe Express, right? It's free, and for most of the content, and it's only when you use different font or when you want to try different resizing, etc., you just need to pay for it. So that's it from me. Let me stop the screen share, and I will see you next time. So we will continue to explore a few tools. Stable diffusion is no more. So stable diffusion, I think they are everything is expensive because it's not going to be simple. They have gone back to what do you call because of the funding, they are only working. They are not accepting any new users. So and you're going to find many tools like which are restricted. But as you can see here, we'll cover, and I think 1 month is a long time in AI webinar. I wish we have every 2 weeks. So as you can see here, ChatGPT has launched an enterprise version. So with a lot of security features, supposedly. So you're going to find there is no other way. So they have to go and monetize themselves, and they will keep doing it. But for me, just continue. If you have done Canva, continue with Canva. Take that image, play with Adobe Express. Or if you have done Adobe Firefly, take that image, pass on to Adobe Express, and play with it, Midjourney, anything, and let me know how you get on. That's it. So exercise for today: create a free Adobe Express account and explore. That's it.